Hey, Heslin Kim here with Polymath as well as...
Michael from Boxmining.
You know this guy, don't you? Go check him out if you haven't seen him before. But how could you not, right? He just did a fantastic panel up on stage earlier at Hybrid Block Summit here in Thailand with a lot of the other crypto influencers. Could you tell us a little bit about your time in Thailand so far?
So it's been a very interesting visit. So in Thailand, I feel like it's just starting up. So there's a lot of new people here into the cryptocurrency space. And I feel like crypto has a big kind of role to play in solving a lot of the issues with the unbanked. Because in Southeast Asia, there's a lot of countries very close to each other, and there's a lot of migrant workers. They need to send cryptocurrencies back and forth. Well, not cryptocurrencies. They need to transfer value back and forth, and cryptocurrencies can solve with that. Especially if you think about it, there's a lot of people who are unbanked. So Philippines is over half, almost over half the people are unbanked. So how can they even receive money from a bank transfer? They can't. So it's a case where I feel like crypto can definitely play a role in the sense that they can be sent some form of value and they can spend that. Especially say like maybe there's a migrant worker, she has like as a mom, she has a family back at home, she wants to go to Hong Kong, which is sometimes a lot of the case in the Philippines and in Thailand. There's domestic helpers that go abroad, they make money and they need some money back home. Like maybe her daughter needs to buy a textbook. Then she needs to send it now. She doesn't want to pay the extraordinary fees. Then why not? Why not crypto? So I feel like that's a promise in Southeast Asia. It's just getting there, and people are trying to figure out how to solve these problems.
Oh, great. In regards to we're in Thailand, but you're not based here.
No, I'm not based here. No.
And you must be doing a roadshow now. So what's on your plate these days?
So on my plate, I try to limit conferences to one per month.
Oh.
It's kind of interesting because if you go to too many conferences, it's just like the same group of people talking about the same stuff. So yeah, it's a little bit burning out. Like so, I just said for a certain amount of time, I just want to chill, maybe relax for a while. So the next cycle is gonna be I'm gonna just do nothing for a while. I'm looking forward to that.
How about Korea Blockchain Week? How come you skipped out on that one?
Yeah, it was one of those things that I was like, I've been to Korea before. I'm gonna just pass on that. But I heard some really good things about Korea, and I'm really excited to see what they can cook up to. We just had Spunky on the channel as well, and he was talking a lot that even in the Western media, they don't really understand Korea that much. So the media kind of reports on the fun and the hype, but really, Koreans they've seen that game before, and they're very suspicious of what's going on, but then also they are very interested. So I'm pretty excited to see what's next.
Great. With all the up and coming debates and talks of everything, we're here with Polymath. What's your opinion on security tokens versus utility tokens?
That is one of the best questions ever. So I made a video on Polymath before. You probably saw it. And
if you haven't, go check it out.
yeah, I searched Polymath Boxmining. But it was very, I actually told you just now, but I'm going to tell everyone here that I did that video 3 times. So I did it once and I was reading up securities and I was like figuring out, okay, what's the relevance of this? Because we currently have all utility tokens, so technically on every coin has to get a letter from a lawyer to say, yeah, we're not a security. But once the security game is coming, I feel like it's going to really change the scene a lot because a lot of these founders, people who are raising money, they want to give away equity. So it might be in conjunction. And then what we can really see is like kind of compliance. So I saw a lot, Polymath was all how many layers of compliance, how it can be sent to people with compliance or not. I know, of course, that to get there, it's going to be a long time.
Right.
And I'm excited to see what's going to happen next.
Well, there's good things coming up soon, so make sure you're keeping your ear to the ground for that.
Cool,
some good updates coming up soon. What kinds of things are you seeing evolve in the space these days?
Some good things and bad things. Yeah. So I feel like because the retail investors aren't getting involved very much right now. So a lot of this is in private.
Right.
So I'm a little bit alarmed by how the private circles are handling a lot of these projects. But hopefully we can have in the future the public gets involved, people get kind of a lot more transparency. Because the more it's private, the less transparency there is. For example, for a lot of projects, you don't even know if the token metrics that they're giving you is accurate or not. How much are you selling these tokens for? Some projects say they're 20 cents, they're giving everyone 20 cents, but sometimes you can suddenly find a 1 cent a 1 cent sale of that. So I do see that there is a lot less transparency now. So I'm a little bit concerned about this development, but hopefully once the kind of more regulation comes in, it's going to be better.
Definitely. Speaking of regulation, we're seeing a lot of that coming out with G20 these days. It's great though because they announced that cryptocurrency is not going to be a threat to financial institutions as it is. What's your take on, like, let's say 6 months from now? Where do you see the market headed?
That's a really good question. So I think we don't even know what's going to happen in 6 days, let alone 6 months. Yeah. That's the current kind of predicament. The crystal ball is relatively not transparent. So I will say that I'm very excited for the ETF that's coming up. So hopefully we have the CBOE ETF, fingers crossed, that will change kind of how people view crypto. Because once it's accepted, if it's accepted, and if this one isn't accepted, just a million more. But if an ETF is accepted, I feel like it's another step forward. And I feel like right now, even in terms of the amount of money we deal with, it's not that much. I mean, what's like 300 billion next to the trillions of dollars in mutual funds or handled by even BlackRock even.
Right.
So right now we're still at a very small market cap, and that's why it's extremely, extremely volatile. I think a lot of people in this space, they believe that, of the moon or of the bear, there's a lot of comments floating around, but the truth is that no one knows. And I think it's important to realize that. It's like, if people are trying to tell you they know what's going on, get the fuck out.
Yeah. Well, they always say, if you see the Buddha, kill the Buddha, right? If someone's claiming they have something that, is impossible, then be wary for sure. So it's all about the transparency, right? Yeah. One last question. How do you like being an influencer in this space? What do you enjoy most about it?
So I've really hated the word influencer because we just create content, and in fact we get influenced a lot of times too. So we talked about stuff that our community likes. So I think it's a really fun ride, and I hope it'll go well.
Yeah, great. Well, thank you so much for your time. You're definitely one of the top content creators in the space, and enjoying your pieces for a while now. So thanks for taking the time.
Thanks, man. Thanks for having me.
Yes.